and welcome to another Orion Tech Tips YouTube video. In today's YouTube video, we will be discussing the iPhone 13, and yes, I know there are four iterations or four models of the iPhone 13. However, in this video, we will just be covering the iPhone 13 base model, because I imagine the most people would be looking to buy this, and the most people have questions about this. So in this video, I'll be going over the specifications as well as my opinion at the end. So make sure to stick around and watch the entire video. Okay, so starting off with the release, the iPhone 13 was released September 24th, 2021. It weighs 174 grams. 7.7 millimeters of thickness. It ships with iOS 15. In terms of storage, it starts with 128. You can go up to 256 or 512, which is quite nice. It's not the 64. I mean, 64 for a base model really in 2021 isn't enough for most people. At least not like the base, or at least not alone. You'd have to get some cloud storage on top of it. Okay, in terms of the screen, we got a 6.1 inch 1170 by 2532. We have a 12 megapixel cameras that can shoot at 4K. 4 gigabytes of RAM. It doesn't say which RAM, so I can't. Is it DDR4, DDR3, CL16? I don't know. And then of course it has the in-house Apple A15 Bionic, both CPU and GPU, or APU I should say. And then it has a 3240 lithium-ion battery, which explains, I mean, that is a decent battery. Explains it's heavier than the 12, but it also has better battery life than the 12. That you can, I found that information out with Mr. Foodboss battery test. Very informative video. I would highly recommend you go watch that. Okay, in terms of network, this phone supports GSM, CDMA, HSPA, EVDO, and LTE, as well as 5G. Same as the iPhone 12. It's available September 24th, and it was launched September 14th, so you can just go and purchase this phone right now if you want to. Okay, it does have a Gorilla Glass front and back with a aluminum frame. It does have single SIM, nano SIM, eSIM, as well as dual SIM, and nano dual standby SIM. It is IP68 water and dust resistant, so just like the 2018 XS, so nothing's really changed there. So 6 meters for 30 minutes. Of course, it supports Apple Pay, and just like the 2014 iPhone 6 did, nothing new there. And also, not every single card is supported in Apple Pay, so there is multiple cards I was trying to link up with my Apple Pay that just didn't support Apple Pay, which is very unfortunate. However, you'll just have to bring the physical card with you. Okay, display does have a Super Retina XDR OLED, HDR10, Dolby Vision at 800 nits, and it does peak at 1200 nits. It has a 86% screen-to-body ratio, so it hasn't really changed since the 2017 iPhone X, which is unfortunate. I mean, it does have quite a bit of iterations following that, so you'd think Apple would have time to shrink the notch, just like Samsung as well as a lot of other Apple competitors did. They just have like that tier notch hole, or just like that cutout hole. It's very it's not very noticeable at all. Or they have like that motorized pop-up notch, which you get like that full screen, which is nice, but Apple hasn't been doing any of that, sadly. And I mean, they should, because this is a very expensive phone. I believe it does start at $800. So, yeah, take that for what you will. This is a very expensive premium phone, even though it is just the standard model. Okay, in terms of the platform, iOS 15, it has a Apple A15 Bionic chipset with a 5nm process, which is actually quite impressive. I believe, I mean, it went from, 16 nanometers to 10 nanometers to 7 nanometers, now to 5 nanometers, so I am quite impressed by that. You should get some snappy performance. It has a hexa-core CPU, of course, Apple's in-house 3.2 gigahertz, as well as Apple's GPU, which is a 4-core graphics chip. Yeah, so all storage models, all have 4 gigabytes of RAM, and that is NVMe SSD. So this is very, very fast storage, which, yeah, glad to hear. 2 12-megapixel cameras, f1.6, f2.4, and then 26 millimeters and 13 millimeters for the wide and ultra wide. In terms of the selfie camera, we have a dual 12-megapixel f2.2, 23 millimeter wide, and it supports 4K at 60 FPS. Very, very nice. It has stereo speakers just like the 2017 iPhone 8. Or sorry, the 2016 iPhone 7 was the first phone that had stereo speakers. Okay, it has dual-band Wi-Fi with Bluetooth 5.0. That is not the newest Bluetooth, so it doesn't have that, unfortunately. I believe the iPhone 8, maybe the iPhone 7 also had Bluetooth 5.0. I'm not too sure in that regard. It has Lightning and then USB 2.0. Speeds, I believe it charges up to 20 watts, which is pretty slow compared to some competitive Android. So yeah, it's available in Scarlet, Midnight Blue, Pink, Red. Yeah, so I believe, and it is a 60 hertz display, if any of you are wondering in that regard. Yeah, and then the speaker is rated at 25.5 LUFS. So yeah, alright, in terms of the speaker quality, I mean, it's decent indoor. However, if you are planning to listen outdoor, you should have your own Bluetooth speaker. They're not that expensive. I mean, 50 to 100 bucks. I mean, obviously you can spend more and get more. But yeah, I wouldn't have this replace your Bluetooth speaker. Like, it's not that good. No phone is. Is the Razer phone still the loudest? I don't know, actually. Maybe it's something else. I know the Red Hydrogen had some decent speakers, but I don't know which is king. I'm not sure. Okay, so what are my thoughts about the phone? Well, I mean, it is disappointing to see an $800 phone not have a high refresh rate display. However, I mean, it's decent. I mean, $800 certainly, it's not bad. I mean, the performance is there. It only has 4 gigabytes of RAM, so that is certainly a problem if you are trying to do multitasking. 4 gigabytes of RAM will struggle, especially some phones do have upwards of 18, I believe. The ROG phone is amazing in terms of the RAM. So on paper, it's certainly not the most powerful. However, in terms of software, it is extremely optimized. And in terms of battery, it is it beats out the iPhone 12. which is very nice. I believe as well as the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max. So yeah, okay, let me know your thoughts about the iPhone 12 in the description down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.